I have a crazy conspiracy theory for you guys. I think the government is planning an earthquake in California and wiping everybody out. Just a thought. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5 here in Dubai. And, you know, we're allowed to have some crazy conspiracy theories, right? I have one. I mean, it's not truth or anything like that. It's just my theory. It's what I'm thinking, right? It has no basis in reality. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. We will never know, even if I am right. So, with that said, let's have fun with it. Don't treat it as gospel. Don't treat it as something you can trade off of. Just treat it as what it is. Just a fun thought experiment. Okay? With that said, right, I'm going to have fun with this, man. So, I don't know if you know this. If you Google HAARP, right, it's HAARP, right? I mean, it's in the title, right? It is a system that they use for scientific research, but you know, a Canadian news agency went after them and discovered that, hey, wait a second, this U.S. patent says that everything you've built is an earthquake machine and can control the weather. And they're like, you know what they said? No, it's not. It doesn't do that. It doesn't have enough power in order for it to do that. But if it did have enough power, then we'd be able to do that. But we don't use that kind of power. Okay. Yeah. They honestly said that. They said that. You could go look it up. Go find this. I think it was CBC News or something like that. It's a Canadian news agency back when they actually did reporting. And it was funny. It was so funny to hear them say that. So we just don't have that. We don't use that much power. If we did, then I guess I could see that. So that means it is an earthquake machine. You just need to pump up the power. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So anyways, I'm connecting two and two together. I'm thinking, you know, a lot of the crazy weather things that happened, right, might have been contributed to HAARP, as them testing it, maybe them trying to do all kinds of stuff. And same with the strange, there was a time when there was a massive earthquake. I forget where it was, but it was in the Indonesia or something like that. But basically, it was a massive tsunami that wiped out a lot of people and stuff like that. But what was interesting is that there was a lot of U.S. naval warships filled with supplies just off the coast waiting, which I found very interesting. And then they were just there instantly to provide support or relief. Call it coincidence. I don't know. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it was just coinky dink that they were just there with all the support supplies ready to go. I don't know. Yeah, just lucky, I guess. Oh boy. So let me then continue on with my next theory of why California. And why do I think it was California? Why not the other side? Well, obviously because California's on a fault line. So, and why not higher up? Why not, I don't know, what's it called? Alaska or even, further up near Canada, near Vancouver and stuff like that. Isn't that all on the fault line? Yeah, true. But you know, there's a large population, a large amount of wealth is in California. So that's a reason why they'd probably focus on California. Probably, I don't know if that's the case. But here's what I noticed. Right, I'm gonna show you something here in the description. Right, all of this is gonna be in the description. Might not be formatted the same way By the time you watch this, if you're watching this after the live event, I'm doing this live mostly for the people who've subscribed subscribing to Blueprint for Bitcoin. All you have to do is go to davincij15.com. Links in the description. It's not right there right now, but it should be there by the time you watch this after the fact when it's posted. Okay, with that said, let's go down to the description. So as you can see, you can just hit the like. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's really simple, right? I can't hit subscribe here because this is my own account, so I'm already subscribed. So in the description, we talk about this. I describe what I'm going to be talking about. And by the way, right, if this all happens, if I'm right and this happens, there's an earthquake, and it wipes out a large portion of California. I want to, before I continue on to reading off what's going to happen is, well, the dollar is going to rise. You're like, what? Yeah, the US dollar is going to actually go up in value. And when it does, that means Bitcoin, gold, silver, everything will collapse heavily, just like it did in 2008 and 2020. And why is that? It's because everybody will sell assets to get liquid and go to the dollar, right? So when you're selling your stocks, your bonds, or whatever, you actually go into the US dollar, which causes prices to rise of the dollar, the value of the dollar to go up, right? And everything, assets to go down in value, right? So the price of dollars will go up, but not the price of assets. Assets will go down. That is what I'm predicting because, hey, you know what? That makes so much sense for the government, right? And because now they can print a bunch of money, they could go a bunch of debt just to help out the Californians. Only that, though. Not your neighborhood bank, of course. Ooh. Ah, damn. The banksters, man. You know the banksters are behind it, not the government, actually. You know, the banksters control the government, and that's just the way it is. Okay, so I'm not claiming I can predict the earthquakes, of course, right? But there is a video, which, you know what, I forgot to provide the link for that very well predicted the earthquake. And let me just bring that up, actually. So here it is. Here's the video that I found for you guys. And it's going to be in the description. It's not there right now, but it will be by the time this thing posts. And yeah, here's it is. Doomsday fish washes ashore California. All signs point to a big earthquake strike very soon. So, not saying that it will happen, right? You can check out this video for yourself. This guy's the expert on earthquakes, not me. So you do your own research and decide for yourself if that's real. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it isn't. You decide for whatever you like. I don't care. All right. I'm just having fun here. I'm just having fun, right? So one of the things that I've noticed, right, that helps drive people out of California, because if you're going to plan this, obviously you want the best and the brightest out of California. And you're not going to say, hey, listen, people, we're going to have a massive earthquake, right? Even if let's just say the government found a way, which they probably do know when an earthquake's coming. They just don't want to let people know that they know that, because then they don't have plausible deniability if they're using the earthquake machine. So that's, again, theory. No facts on that one. So please take it as it is. Just having fun here, having fun. And yes, all of this affects Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and also silver and gold if this were to come true. If, big if, right? That's it, right? Just letting you know. So be ready, right? This is why, some of the people who have lots of dollars, if this happens, they're gonna be buying up all the assets as people sell them in a panic sell. So that's what we're gonna see. All right, so going back to California's laws, right? They basically made shoplifting, legal, right? That's it, right? Because California made thieves a slap on the wrist, so criminals game the system with under $950 thefts. Yes. And so here it is, the link, right? Looting is basically allowed. It's not a law, but enforcement and incentives are the issue. It's not illegal to loot, but a low consequence and hard to enforce on its scale. So basically, hey, don't loot. It's very bad. And yeah, that's, I mean, if you want to get rid of businesses, right? That's one way to do it, right? You get the people out, get the businesses out. At least anyone with this brain would go, yeah, you know what? Why should I have a business here? It doesn't make any sense, right? I better leave. Hopefully you did that, right? If you live in California, owners can't stop thieves, right? Is another thing they can't do, right? Let's just say you see somebody shoplifting or looting, you can't stop them. And a use of force, right, will cause you to be in a lot of trouble because you could end up getting sued. Just like that. Boom. So why would you stick around for that, right? This was interesting. Suing your boss on behalf of the state. If there was any kind of paperwork that was incorrect, there was massive violations on a lawsuit. And so what would happen is your employees would use that against you to put the screws in you, to take money from you, basically blackmail you. That went on nonstop. Right? And then there's a environmental review, which I think that was used to keep businesses and factories and home builders out. If they knew that there was going to be an earthquake, I mean, nobody knows. I mean, I'm sure the government person who put this in law didn't know about it, but somebody who does know, like a banker who planned this, they paid the politicians. This is what you can do. You're gonna help me out here. Don't worry about why. You just do this, and we'll get you voted in. And so this allows, for any banker to go, we might need that resource. That person's building this stuff and he's pretty good at that. We need to get him out of California since we know. So we're going to put this law against them so they can't build that factory or houses or whatever. Right? Perfect. And they don't have to explain why they want you out and not put a building there. That's my conspiracy theory, of course. Just saying. Okay. Oh, my favorite of all, the favorite, which has already gotten the billionaires out, right? The new billionaires tax push, a one-time 5% net worth hit on billionaires, and people are already moving chess pieces to get out. Oh boy. All right, with that said, okay, guys, I know you're thinking, you crazy, man, you crazy. Okay, it's just for fun, man. It's fun. Let it be, right? But if it does happen, doesn't mean I predicted it or anything like that. But we know what's going to result from that. The dollar's going to go up in value, right? There will be a lot of displacement, a lot of money that needs to be printed in order to rebuild California. So that will require a printing press money. And you can't really fault the Americans. You can't dump their currency when they're suffering now, can you? That would be just wrong. That would be evil. How could you do that to the poor Americans? There it is. There it is. Buying themselves more time before the dollar actually finally collapses, right? So there you go. That is my thesis, right? So be careful out there. make sure you prepare for the worst. If you're gonna borrow against your Bitcoin, make sure you're only borrowing a very small fraction, right? Only 10 to 20% of the total value, a total amount of Bitcoin. So if you've got $1 million, the maximum you should borrow against is like $200,000 against your Bitcoin, so that this way you don't get wiped out. You could actually just move more Bitcoin into the loan to help shore up the security should this be catastrophically bad. And yeah, I would be careful of that too, because honestly, guys, if they are just buying time, that's fine. Then, your prices will come back to normal again, of course, eventually. I don't know when, but they will come back to normal. However, if they wanted to have a reset, currency reset, that would be the best point in time to do so. Why? Well, because now they can say, okay, listen, we're going to freeze everything, the stock market, freeze the commodities exchange, freeze everything. A lot of people lost a lot of money. We want to help everybody out. We're going to, pay you off for all of the, the current assets that you've got at the current mark-to-market price, which is a lot less, right? Here's the cash. We'll take those assets off of you. Maybe we'll give you a little bit extra, right? Sorry for the downturn, right? That's horrible. Let me get those Bitcoins off of you. Let me get those silver off of you. Let me get that gold off of your ETF. So that just got dumped down, man, because it's so sad. Perfect opportunity for that, right? And it's not stealing, because they are paying you for it, right? They're paying you dollars, right? They're helping you out. And then once the trading starts, of course, you're going to take those dollars and try to rebuy those assets. And whoops, oh, look at that. They got repriced higher. Who knew? Damn, that would be the perfect timing for that. So be ready for both scenarios, just in case. This is, again, a conspiracy theory kind of deal. So take it for what it's worth. It may not be true. And I'm just having fun with this. And I like this kind of thought experiments. Hope you do too. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace.